Hi, Tony Mack with the One Hand Axe. Today I have my mother-in-law Edna coming over for a roast dinner. She's 95 and her request today, have some Yorkshire puddings with it. So this is how I make my Yorkshire puddings. So I've got my oil, 12 fluid ounces of milk, salt, flour, 2 eggs. So how I start off, I mix it in this bowl here, which is good. I purchased these online because they've got a rubber bottom and don't move. My good friends at the Royal Marsden gave me this, which stops things slipping. So once again, I've told you before about these very useful jars that just lift off. You squeeze the top on, and now we need 5 ounces of flour, which is normally 5 spoonfuls of flour. It'll be close. There we go, 5 ounces. So you just sift that through to make sure that there's no lumps in the flour or anything else. And then what I do is I put this on this mat that stops it slipping. So now we've got 12 fluid ounces of milk. So because of only having one hand, you can't stir and mix. So what I normally do is I pour half in and give it a good stir up, and then I put the remainder in and give it a good stir up again. Then what you need is to get 2 eggs. Crack 2 eggs. You can never, it's never an easy job, but you can learn to do it with one hand. And before we put that in, you need a good pinch of salt. Then what you do is whisk, move the mat, put that on the mat, give it a whisk in, and then pour it into the batter mix. Give it a really good mix up. And as you can see, that's gone to a nice batter. So, before we started, I turned the oven on to 230 degrees. Now, I know you're probably going to say, well, that's way too high. But someone told me about this, and it's not. It's perfect, really. So, what we do now is pour your oil into your pudding thing. You don't need a lot, just to cover the bottom. Now, we went to a nice little pub, our local pub, the other week, and we had a lovely roast dinner. I was talking to the chef, and he said, look, to make Yorkshire puddings, put them in cold oil. And I went, you're having a laugh, ain't you? And he said, no, you try it. So I did. I come home next day and I tried it. And believe it or not, it works. And there's one good advantage when you've only got one arm. Trying to get this out the oven with one hand, very hot oil, it's not good. So I tried it, and guess what? It works. And I'll prove it now to you today. So, the good thing about these bowls is it has got a pouring spout. So you can just pour it in like that. Try and get them all the same size, same quantity in there. Now, this is very handy. I brought in Lakeland, and this glove, so you're very mobile using your fingers and everything. I won't use it to put it in the oven because it's cold, but getting it out, this is perfect. I do say get one of them. So now, into the oven. Stick it on 230 for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, and you know the classic rule, do not open the oven door. But we're lucky we've got a glass door, so I will show you halfway through. So here we go, there's a couple of minutes left on the Yorkshire puddings. As you can see, they've risen very well. But before the oven peeps and lets us know they're ready, my mother-in-law offered me these, and I said they're no good for nothing, but you'd be surprised how handy these little clips come. And these, you might think these are only good for sweet corn, but believe you me, you can stick these in the side of a carrot, take the top off, do whatever. And one little tip, last tip of the day today, I'll show you how I put my gas on my gas cooker. So I turn the gas on, put my knee on it, click that, and there's the gas on. Not having to call anyone to help you, and there it is. And if I let go, there you go. So now, this glove that I purchased in Lakeland, which is absolutely brilliant. So just slightly get it on, then push it on like that, and you can use your fingers, anything, and this is really helpful for getting the Yorkshires out. And I see we've got a minute to go, but I would imagine they're done. So I'm going to take a chance. So I'm going to turn the oven off, and wow, look at them. So now I'll get them out the oven, and look at them. Look. Now, not only are they my mother-in-law's favourites, so there's 3 of us here for dinner today, so 1, 2, 3, she'll have the small one, and then there's 3 left, and they'll be for my grandchildren, Dexter, Chester and Maisie, who think I make the most fantastic Yorkshire. So kids, there's 3 coming down later today. Tony Mac, see you when you're older.